Hey guys, Demon Hunter here. Hope all is well. Hey, I just wanted to go ahead and touch on optogenetics. Okay, I'm gonna share a video here, kind of touching on this now, because I believe once again that they're using light frequencies to be able to access subject's pineal gland, and that the Sun Sim is actually an all-seeing eye apparatus, surveillance apparatus, as much as it is as a Sun Sim. And again, this is an esoteric photo showing you the Sun Sim up there, or alleged sun, tapping into a subject's pineal gland with a reference of the peacock. And again, the peacock is found at the Vatican. Okay, and let alone found throughout different cultures. But that's what I believe they're doing. I believe they're looking to hijack the pineal gland through the remote, the targeted individual program. Okay, but they're using light frequencies to be able to do so. And here it says, how does optogenetics work? Currently, optogenetics experiments rely on extracting opsins, light-sensitive proteins, from plants, which can be introduced to mammals by methods including injection and infection via adenovirus. Once delivered into an organism, opsins can be expressed in eye, brain, or skin cells, allowing their light sensitivity to be remotely activated or silenced with time pulses of light in different color wavelengths across the light spectrum that can target multiple bodily systems and cause a variety of biological effects. So I think there's a direct connection with that. So it can target precisely. Okay, so if targeted precisely with enough or the appropriate light, it's thought that optogenetics can be used by manipulating neural circuits involved with pain, fear, reward, wakefulness, and social behaviors. And like I've said, my friend who's in Ireland, Liz Raffi, she's caught these lights coming down, and she believes she's a targeted individual potentially. So let's check this out, and you can see how a light source comes down as this jogger runs by. You see that? One more time. Okay. And it looks like it's coming from an aerial, perhaps, but or even the Sun Sim, which again I believe is a surveillance apparatus. It's the all-seeing eye. Satan looking to be omnipresent, like Yahweh, inverting, polluting, twisting. This is another one. Look at the rain. The rain has got these light pulses in it that Liz had caught as well. So is this optogenetics, and is this what they're using to target individuals, eventually getting them plugged into the one hive mind? So, and when, especially when you got here Bill Gates with his transhumanism ad, one-eyed symbolism with the Borg, the black cube, the D wave, resistance is futile, you will be assimilated, Skynet atop the dome with his one-eyed symbolism, right? The Borg, the cube, microwave cube 666, become assimilated. The D wave 2000 Q. Is Q PSYOP? Is that the AI? Is that the quantum computer here? Bill Gates again, one-eyed symbolism. You got the X, the box. The box is the cube. It's the pyramid. The black cube. Whose web will it be? It's going to be Satan's web. Is Skynet. the cloud, smart dust confinement dome that's all around us, that they're looking to plug us into, the surveillance apparatus, master of the universe, Satan, having fallen like lightning. And this is Bill Gates with all his messianic brotherhood, the serpent seed, who just happened to wear the black cube on their heads, right? You know, the black cube, Saturn, Satan worship, the statues everywhere, the UN. Okay, so it's all connected. It's the eye in the sky. It's the eagle eye. It's their surveillance platform for their targeted individual program, getting everybody plugged into the one hive mind, AI, Satan consciousness, the 9/11, the two becoming the one, the enmity within looking to take over, the Alan Parsons Project, old and wise, eye in the sky. And again, Satan is raw. He's radium. He's radiating the planet with his EMF, wireless frequencies, and his Gwen towers, and his 5G tower network, all aimed at the transhumanism agenda. Okay, so I wanted to show you that. Now you guys go ahead and watch this next video, which I think is going to pretty much blow you away. And two, I'll just show you this again. So in short, just for any newcomers, I'll just do this real quick. The opening limpets, they're cryptically telling you they're able to simulate the constellations, okay? They got a live augmented virtual reality up there. They're already claiming they're, have their, China plans to launch its own artificial moon by 2020. Okay, a man-made meteor shower launched by satellite could open the 2020 Olympic Games. So you got Star Trek, which is stars on tracks, okay? Stars on tracks. So they've created a augmented virtual reality up there, capable of simulating anything that they want. Apollyon's cap the dome. Okay, so and we'll start the video here right after this. So, and again, you got their Asgardia. They're even telling you this is their low Earth orbit satellite under the dome. They're even showing you the dome. It's a partnership of the UN. The Space Kingdom Asgardia has its own flag and anthem, is a fully fledged and independent nation and a future member of the United Nations. Okay, but meanwhile, this is their logo. It's an ICU processing unit, CPU processing unit, plugging folks into the one-eyed mind with the IRA, the 666, right in your face, with the sun simulator, with its Lord of the Rings. It's the Lord of the Rings. It's the Dyson sphere around the sun sim. That paper thin veil caught here. You know? You can see all the diodes around it. And these diodes are what showed up in a time lapse feed here. So there's like a huge, massive Elysium style base around the sun, Dyson sphere, going on. And it's the eye in the sky. It's the all-seeing eye. It's the Satan inverting, twisting, Pluton, everything of Yahweh, having created his own smart dust canopy, artificial sky canopy dome within Yahweh's enclosed structures. So he's simulating everything up there now. The UFOs, the stars, the constellations, the moons, Planet X, everything. And at the same time, it's a surveillance apparatus. It's where the Borg's at. Right here, the Borg. He's simulating everything up there. It's the cube. Saturn, Satan worship. Okay, so, and then you've also got here on the magazine, it's May 1996, so you got your 666s there. So you got the Borg also with these light spectrums coming down, your optogenetics, your frequency light pulses, remotely controlling and targeting subjects below, plugging them into the one hive mind that we talked about. Okay, and then you also got the NASA patch, the Pan, the Horn God. Okay, Palladium Stadium at night with Apollyon having, you know, at the very top, the Phoenix with Atlas, and Atlas is their surveillance program network. The all-seeing eye. Okay, So again, you got Yahweh's enclosed structure in red, and then in blue you've got Satan's artificial smart dust confinement dome simulating all the constellations. Satan set his kingdom up in the sides of the north, north being up, Polaris, the North Star, God's throne room, having inverted, twisted, polluting everything of Yahweh, looking to be omnipresence with his all-seeing eye surveillance apparatus, while simulating the moon, the sun, the meteorites, planet X, and Yahweh's real sun, real moons outside this artificial smart dust canopy. And Satan's, just radiating the entire planet with its 5G towers. It's the Gwen towers. I got 300 copper spoke wheels underground, aimed at altering it, God's natural Earth frequency. Looking to have humans become 2.0. Satan looking to set his kingdom up in the hearts of man, replacing Yahweh. Yahweh dwells in the hearts of man, not a machine. And Satan's looking to set his kingdom up in the hearts of man via the transhumanism agenda. Humans 2.0. All right, you guys enjoy this next video. It's very telling and very informative on optogenetics and what their plans are here. All right, you guys have a mighty blessed one. Stay armored up. Know that Jesus loves you. And we'll talk to you soon. All right, thanks a lot. Bye.
Given the insanity that we are seeing in the general public these days about the willingness to throw away their rights, whether it be the right to bear arms, the right of free speech, the right to assembly, or the freedom to due process, it makes one wonder what the hell is going on.
How did people get like this?
How are people seemingly arguing against their self-interest and feeling no compunction about it?
I'm going to take you on a tour of what is really happening behind the curtains in the world, all of which are being portrayed as necessary actions for the greater good of humanity. In 2013, former President Barack Obama was announcing his administration's brain research through advancing innovative neurotechnologies. The study, describing a way to manipulate a lab animal's brain circuitry accurately enough to turn behaviors both on and off. The point of the remote control mouse is not to create an army of robo-rodents, but to perfect a technique that will control the behavior by activating and deactivating neurons. The technique used to control neurons is called DREADS, designer receptors exclusively activated by designer drugs. Because the receptor does not respond to other molecules, including natural ones in the brain, the only way to activate the neurons is via the human-made ones. DREADS allow scientists to manipulate neurons without implanting anything in the brain. Look at this. Current optogenetic experiments rely on extracting opsins, light-sensitive proteins, from plants which can be introduced to mammals by methods including injection and infection via adenovirus. What they do is they genetically engineer a receptor that can get into a person through a viral vector, and what that means is through an injection of the vaccine or through the contraction of an adenovirus which has been modified. You might think, oh well, I just won't get injected, and I won't go anywhere where I can get this adenovirus. Adenovirus. There's 52 of them. And they range from the common cold, fever, sore throat, pink eye. They're prevalent. So that's creepy, because if you look at what it says, DREADS allows scientists to manipulate neurons without implanting anything in the brain. It indeed makes one wonder, given what we see today in the general public. You do need to take the designer drug, though, to make this effective. Once delivered into an organism, opsins can be expressed in eye, brain, or skin cells, allowing their light sensitivity to be remotely activated or silenced with timed pulses of light in different color wavelengths across the light spectrum that can target multiple bodily systems and cause a variety of biological effects. If targeted precisely enough with the appropriate light, it's thought that optogenetics could be used by manipulating neural circuits involved with pain, fear, reward, wakefulness, and social behaviors.
There's this enormous mystery waiting to be unlocked. And the BRAIN Initiative will change that by giving scientists the tools they need to get a dynamic picture of the brain in action and better understand how we think and how we learn and how we remember. And that's part of what this BRAIN initiative is about.
If scientists can turn on or off specific targeted groups of neurons at will, they place themselves in between the natural human experience and basically their keyboard. They place themselves between you and your natural human reactions to things. So, optogenetics looks like the way to go. But how do you get people to put wires in their heads? Well, you can't. But it turns out now you don't have to. Here we have the new development in optogenetics. Luminopsins, luminescent opsins, or LMOs, were developed to achieve combined chemo and optogenetic manipulation. Luminopsins allow manipulation of neuronal activity over a range of spatial and temporal scale in the same experimental animal. What they are saying here is not only can they turn on specific reactions, but they can also turn off those same reactions. A problem they were having with the other methods is they could only do one. They could either stimulate the receptor or suppress the receptor. With the combined chemo-optogenetic manipulation, they can do both. They're using luminopsins, so they don't need the wiring anymore. Basically, science can use these luminopsins to interfere with a person's free will. The other function of optogenetics is just a simple observation. They might want to know how you feel about seeing a particular image, how that image changes the next thing you do. Basically, the scientists can understand what exactly is going on in our bodies and our minds, but to do that, it can't be invasive. Well, what have you noticed proliferating on the market for the last 8 years? Microsoft Band. It'll record all the stuff going on in your body. Same with Google Fit or Apple Watch. This Muse head-brain sensing headband is even scarier. There's also 23andMe, which collects your genetic data. Imagine if they had a combination of all these things. All of this is attached to your smartphone. So it's not so much the device, it's the smartphone monitoring that's the dangerous part. Because who's getting that data? And what are they doing with it? Look at what it says here. This is from 2016. Towards a psychophysics of interoceptive processes, the measurement of heartbeat detection. Over the past 50 years, research on interoception has grown exponentially from 17 citations of Interocept in 1965 to 8,440 in 2015, Web of Science. The early Russian work was summarized in Razran's landmark article on the subject and demonstrated, inter alia, that interception participated fully in the intersensory processes of Pavlovian conditioning. They want to know all of our interoceptive data because it plays directly into Pavlovian conditioning. You can change anybody's behavior if you know how to manipulate those feelings inside them when they are experiencing something. You do that over and over and over, and you actually change their whole physiological responses to it. Have you ever wondered if we are going towards that future? A world that is entirely sending feedback regularly to some processor somewhere? Is there a prison around us of electronic biofeedback and manipulation? Let's say there will be a flu virus, all the common adenoviruses, and they had this modified dread receptor in there. We would never know, and it would be in there, in our body, just waiting to be activated by the designer drug or by light activation. Maybe it sounds paranoid, or maybe not. You've been served with the opportunity to decide what to believe.
The secrecy that surrounds this issue is so extraordinary that most presidents are not briefed on it, and if they're briefed in a way that is perfunctory and very, very limited and designed to control their actions. It's not the 1%, it's the 0.0000001% who would not benefit from this because they are the ones sitting atop the petrodollar system, the macroeconomic order. For the most part, presidents since Eisenhower have not had appropriate access control. Now, what I mean access control? This means not only access to the program, but control over them. And people need to make, at the very beginning, a very clear understanding between knowing and being able to do anything about it. So every single president has been interested in this. Famously,